What if you woke up tomorrow in a world so cold that the air itself could slice through your lungs? No houses, no heaters, just endless white wilderness. Question, will I still be alive by nightfall? That was reality 1.6 billion years ago, during an ice age when survival was the only language. The sun barely climbs over the horizon. When it does, its weak light shimmers across endless fields of snow and jagged mountains wrapped in mist. The wind howls like a living beast, carrying flakes of ice that sting like needles. Inside a shallow cave, a small band of early humans stirs awake. Their world is nothing but danger, yet they rise because stopping means death. The cave smells of smoke, damp stone, and animal furs. At the center, a fragile fire sputters, its tiny flames the only barrier against the brutal cold. A mother cups her hands around the glow, breathing gently to keep it alive. Nearby, a child shivers under a cloak made from reindeer skin. The fire isn't just warmth, it's life itself. Without it, frostbite would claim their fingers and toes before the next moonrise. Morning begins with the first test, finding food. Snow covers every track, erasing the footsteps of animals overnight. The hunters sharpen their stone-tipped spears, listening to the echo of cracking ice outside. Each step into the white unknown is a risk. Hidden beneath the powdery surface are treacherous pits where a single slip can break a leg, a death sentence in this frozen land. They move as a pack across the icy plain. Their eyes scan for signs of life, a broken branch, a trail of steaming breath against the cold air. Far in the distance, a herd of shaggy mammoths trudges across a frozen valley. The sight brings a rush of hope and fear. One mammoth could feed the tribe for weeks, but a single misstep could turn hunter into prey. The hunters crouch low, their hearts pounding as they calculate the wind and wait for the perfect moment. Back at the cave, those left behind work just as hard. Women and elders gather dry grasses and branches buried beneath the snow to keep the fire alive. Children are taught to scrape ice from the cave walls and melt it in carved stone bowls. Every drop of water is precious. In this frozen world, snow is both enemy and friend, freezing their bodies, yet giving the gift of life when melted. Hours pass. The hunters return carrying not a mammoth, but a young deer, its fur still warm from the chase. Their faces are raw and red, but their eyes gleam with triumph. Cheers echo through the cave as meat is carved and shared. They eat quickly, tearing strips of flesh with stone blades while the fire pops and hisses. The taste of fresh food is more than nourishment. It's proof that courage wins another day. As darkness falls, the ice age shows no mercy. The temperature plummets until the very air bites like metal. The tribe fortifies the cave entrance with heavy stones and packed snow, creating a shield against the night winds. Outside, wolves prowl, their howls carrying across the frozen valley. Inside, the people huddle together beneath layers of fur, their bodies sharing heat. The firelight flickers across their faces, faces of survivors, each scar and callus a story of battles fought and endured. Before sleep, an elder begins to speak. His voice is rough but steady, weaving tales of great hunts and spirits hidden in the stars above. Children listen wide-eyed, forgetting the cold for a moment as they imagine mammoths and saber-toothed cats and giant bears roaming the endless white. Stories are more than entertainment. They are lessons, warnings of danger, and whispers of hope that tomorrow can be conquered. Outside, the sky explodes with stars, brighter than anything we see today. The northern lights shimmer in curtains of green and purple, painting the ice in magical colors. It is breathtaking and terrifying. For these early humans, the lights are a mystery, perhaps a sign from forces beyond understanding. But tonight, wrapped in furs and bound by firelight, the tribe finds comfort in each other. They have survived another day. Tomorrow, the struggle begins again. Morning comes without mercy. The gray sky hangs low, heavy with snow, and the breath of every hunter freezes in the air. Inside the cave, the fire is fading, only a few glowing embers left. If the flames die, the tribe will freeze before the next sunrise. Two hunters grab their furs and sharpen spears. They need meat, fat, and bones, everything to keep the fire alive. They march into a world of endless white. Each step sinks into deep drifts, while the wind slices through every gap in their clothing. Beneath the snow hides black ice that can break without warning. The hunters test each step with their spears, hearts pounding as the ice moans beneath them. One slip would mean death in freezing water. Far across the valley, a herd of woolly rhinoceroses grazes near a frozen river. Their huge bodies steam in the cold, horns catching the weak morning light. The hunters crouch, waiting for the wind to shift. Then, with a silent signal, they rush forward. Spears fly, snow explodes around them as the beasts charge. After a brutal struggle, one young rhino collapses. Its fat and meat will keep the tribe alive for weeks. The hunters whisper thanks to the spirit of the animal before the long drag home begins. Back in the cave, children melt snow in stone bowls, while women scrape animal hides into soft, warm furs. The smell of smoke and raw meat fills the air. When the hunters return, cheers echo off the stone walls. Knives of sharpened bones slice through thick hide. Fat is set aside to burn as fuel, feeding a fire that must never die. But the Ice Age allows no rest. Dark clouds roll over the valley, and the first flakes of a blizzard begin to fall. The entrance is sealed with stones and packed snow, while the wind screams outside. Inside, the fire roars, flames reflecting on damp cave walls. Children cling to their mothers. Hunters grip their spears, listening for the scrape of wolves beyond the barricade. As the storm rages, an elder begins to speak. His deep voice carries through the cave like a heartbeat. He tells of ancestors who first tamed fire, of hunters who crossed frozen seas, of spirits that ride the northern lights. The stories are more than comfort. They are lessons of courage, maps of memory. The children listen wide-eyed, their faces glowing in the flicker of flames. Outside, the blizzard howls for hours. Wolves cry in the distance, but the tribe endures. They share body heat, feed the fire with precious fat, and whisper prayers to the unseen sky. This is not a life of comfort. It is a life of relentless adaptation. At last, the wind begins to soften. Through a crack in the stone wall, a pale blue light seeps into the cave. Dawn. They have survived another night. When the tribe steps outside, the world shines with untouched snow. Fresh animal tracks lead toward the horizon, promising food for another day. The cold is still merciless, but inside every hunter burns something stronger than fear, the stubborn spark of human survival. It is the same spark that still lives in us today, a reminder that every warm home and every shared story began with people who refused to let their fire die. So when you feel the warmth of a modern hearth, remember those ancient nights. Nights when life itself depended on courage, unity, and a single flame.